I'm David Brazeal, and this is App-titude. One of my goals for 2019 has been not only to do more work on my electronic devices like my phone and my tablet, but to let those devices work for me. And on iOS, there's an app now owned by Apple, because they bought the original developer, that's called Shortcuts, that does a lot to let you automate the things that your phone or your iPad do for you. And essentially what you can think of it as is a bridge between apps. One of the features of iOS is that apps are sandboxed and they're not really necessarily allowed to work together very well. Apple sees that as a security feature, but it does hamper some of the things that you might be able to do. Well, Shortcuts helps to bridge that gap and let apps work together. And you can build your own shortcuts and customize them to whatever you need to do. So I'm going to open up Shortcuts here and just look at some of the options that I have. And these are, again, very specific things, but I'll walk you through a couple of them. One simple one is that you can easily resize photos. So phones are such great cameras now, and iPhones make such big camera and photo files that sometimes it's kind of a chore to transfer all that data if you're trying to share photos with your friend. I've set up a shortcut here that just simply all it does is it resizes photos to 1500 pixels on the longest edge, whether it's vertical or horizontal. So there are a lot of steps here, and you can build these steps, or there's also a gallery where you can download pre-made shortcuts. But what this does is it takes whatever images I give it and it just resizes it. In this case, it resizes the width to be 1500 pixels. You can adjust this slider here to change the JPEG quality of the image, and you can also choose to preserve the metadata or not. So that'll preserve things like where you took the photo, the date, stuff like that. And then you can also choose where you want that item to be saved once you resize it. So you resize it down. I've got it just saving to my camera roll, but I could have an album set up on my phone that's called Resized Photos and have it dropped there automatically. Another example is a lot of times if I am at a basketball game and I need to send a score update, because that's a part of what I do, I've got a shortcut that allows me to do that. And so I can just tap send a score update. It will call up a list of all the sports that I might be covering. Let's say it's a boys basketball game. I can say that it's halftime, and let's say Republic, which is where I am from. Tap that, and they have 36 points, and then we'll just say Bolivar has 35 points. I tap done, and then it opens up Drafts, which is an app I covered a few months ago that handles all kinds of text. It has automatically dumped that score update into Drafts in the form that I want to send it. So it says score update, boys basketball, and then in parentheses half, and that could say first quarter, third quarter, or final, and it'll say Republic 36, comma, Bolivar 35. I can just, inside Drafts, tap one button and send that to Twitter, or I can copy it into my clipboard and paste it into an app that then gets the update. So pretty handy, and all with one step. I've sent that. One of the things that I use it for is that I don't then have to worry about a typo. I'm trying to type fast, I misspell Bolivar, and it goes out, and then of course after you've already sent it out, that's when you notice the typo. So this helps avoid that by having that pre-populated list of towns. I can also share an article that I see with one tap to my task manager on my phone, which is called OmniFocus. So I see an article, I don't have time to read it, I know I want to read it later, I tap one button, it automatically shares that as a task that I need to do later on. There are really unlimited uses for an app like Shortcuts, and it's just a matter of kind of exercising your brain to think about the things that you might do over and over that could stand to be automated. It'll save you a lot of time in the long run, and I would suggest if you don't have Shortcuts on your phone, tap around, go into the App Store, download it, look at the gallery, and see if that sparks any ideas. Shortcuts, it's a free download, owned by Apple, developed by Apple now, and it's available on the iOS App Store.